Today on the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries.
Well, we're getting ready to head out to the stand right now to a really cool spot and do an archery hunt. A great deer sign all up and down several trails coming into this little valley area. Got a mesquite-covered hill in front of us, a line of oaks along the creek bottom. I mean, just a phenomenal looking spot with lots of sign for big bucks.
Well, it's opening weekend of bow season, and Wade finds himself in Central Texas, getting ready to climb into a creekside tree stand that he's got high hopes for.
All righty, here we go. Afternoon bow hunt. We've got a little creek action coming on. Winds should be perfect for this stand. We've never been able to get into this stand before, but we've looked at this area many times, and we're gonna park the Wolverine up here and work our way down there to it. It's gonna take us a little while to kind of work down through it. There's a few water holes still left in the creek. Get set up. It's pretty early. I mean, it's probably 3 hours before the deer really should get up for an afternoon hunt based on the conditions we got. The deer are still kind of running together, but they are starting to get a little mad at each other, starting to posture a little bit, starting to fight. And we'll get after them here in a little bit, see what we can't get done. Went from one terrain to the other in the moonscape now, but on the back side of this is just exactly what we're wanting to get to, where these deer are gonna be. Wind's kind of coming across like this right now, so we're gonna leave the Wolverine right here and start our walk in and get ready to get set up. We still got a pretty good amount of time, so. Take the old helmet off, put the eyeballs in because we couldn't hit the broadside of anything without those. All right, let's get her gear and get that way.
That big 10-point never gave Wade the angle he was looking for at that range, and as the afternoon shadows made their transition into the evening, Wade spotted another good buck off to his left. Unfortunately, where Jeff is located with the camera, he can't see him. To make things worse, something spooks all the deer in the area, signaling the end of the hunt. When we return, changes have been made to the stand, and hopes are still high as Wade returns to the creek stand. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Yamaha's proven off-road ATVs and side-by-side vehicles. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Garmin Zero, leave the guesswork behind.
We know if you found one crappie, you may have found 1,000. We know the joy of getting your boots back in the mud. We know the journey can be more rewarding than the destination. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stop by today for huge savings on the gear you need and the brands you trust. Plus free 2-day shipping at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X2. With a compact chassis perfect for exploring tight technical terrain. An ultra-quiet and smooth 850 class twin-cylinder engine. And next-level versatility with a 600-pound dumping cargo bed. No other side-by-side delivers this level of proven off-road performance. The all-new Wolverine X2 from Yamaha.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. With the wind bad for that stand the past few days, Wade has let the creek stand rest and is now heading back to it for an early morning hunt.
We got in this stand a couple days ago, and while we were there on that first hunt, we literally had two shooters come right into us. I mean, one of them got right out there in the wheelhouse broadside. I could see him. Jeff didn't have a good shot of him. The other one crossed at about 35, 40 yards out there. Never really gave us a good shot except to see him. I mean, pretty excited about this stand. It didn't hunt great in the afternoon, so we're gonna do the morning hunt there this morning. The sun was just a little more brutal than what we thought, but the reality is the deer are there, pretty excited about it. Great opportunities. Can't wait for sunrise. It's good morning. We saw several does and several smaller bucks. We actually saw one of the shooters that we've identified on camera that we really like, a big, long main beam 10-point. He was pretty nervous. He kind of passed along, wheeled around, and then went back up this hill. We had several young bucks just really, get right where we wanted them to. If they'd been shooters, we, had them at 25 yards or closer even. So, I mean, the spots, the deer are here. We just need the right ones to show up. This is just such a cool spot. You can hear acorns falling, wood ducks, flying down the creek, eating on the acorns. It was a good morning, but this time of the year, they don't move very long, so we're gonna go ahead and get down, go eat some pancakes, and start making plans for the evening.
After a hearty pancake breakfast and some time on the range, Wade leaves camp early to get back into the stand on what's going to be a very still afternoon.
You just never know what's going to show up. Might be does, might be squirrels, might be a shooter buck. It's just a matter of sitting in there and letting that sun get down. These type of situations
shade along the areas that you're hunting. It just seems like that's when it goes down. It seems like when that action happens. So, you know, you can see we're starting to get a few long shadows work our way out here when this whole little bottom that runs along this creek gets good and shaded. I'm like, that's when I would want to be out there playing. That's when we're hoping old big boy will get out there and go play too.
One of the curses to having no wind is every move makes a noise, and with that shooter headed out back into the brush, that'll conclude the hunt for the evening, and with plans to once again rest the area. We'll be back here again as soon as we can. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. Walkers, protect it or lose it. Conquest Scents, Hunt Scents, and Dog Training Scents. Smith & Wesson Performance Center, performance when it matters most.
How do you aim a 36-yard shot with a 30-yard fixed pin at a 15-degree angle with a 7-inch holdover without moving a single pin? Easy. You get one of these. Zero, the auto-ranging digital bow sight from Garmin.
The thing about public land is that most people hunt the same old beaten path. The thing about you is, you're not most folks. Introducing the new TC Compass, only by Thompson Center. Follow your own compass with America's master gunmaker.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Hey, if you're just joining us, Wade's been hunting a great spot alongside a creek, directly in the path of where several deer are traveling every day. This hunt has spanned several trips and has had its challenges. From the sun directly in their faces to changing wind directions, deer not coming quite into range and us spooking them at the wrong time. Without wind to cover any movements, this early season set of hunts has proven a challenge, as yet another good buck has been spooked. Well, with better wind and after making a few changes to the stand during Wade's past visit, we're heading back to the creek with high hopes.
Every time we've had some good encounters, but I don't know, tonight we're just really pretty amped up based on what we've just seen and what's been going on. We've modified it with, basically a little canopy of cedars to give us an ability to hunt here in the evening, kind of block that sun. A lot of these deer are coming off of this flap, off of this little here when they're bedding down in the evening. They're coming down here. There's a lot of deer also coming down this little trail right here. It's a little 2-track. Those deer are coming up out of the creek that's behind us. There's a big flat back there as well. I mean, it's just a combination of great habitat, great edge habitat, a place where the deer want to be, a place where they're just doing their thing. So hopefully we'll get some in here feeding tonight and kind of passing through, and it'll be one of those big ones that we've encountered. This time he'll give us the shot and we can get drawn back and make the perfect shot we all dream about. Been in this thing. Been in this stand a lot this year. And I mean, we've had some encounters with some great bucks. That was one of them. We've seen him on scouting camera pictures. We've seen him chasing and fighting other deer. We've seen him pass through with no shot. That was the dream hole right there. And he finally got in there. I had to lean out and get all kind of funky angles as he was turning to go away, but I mean, that shot looked good. I mean, I got lungs, should be perfect up and down through there. I mean, I think we smoked him. I mean, this was a stand, as I said at the beginning of the show, we have changed, we have hunted, we have done all kinds of things, we've let it rest. We spent a lot of time in this one to get it right. And we got it right there. I can't quit shaking.
The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by 10-Point Crossbows. Perfection lives here. Record Rack, serious nutrition. Bradley Smoker, food smoking made easy.
Protect it or lose it.
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 Protect it
Or lose it.
Protect it or lose it.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. With a bachelor group of bucks showing up, Wade was finally able to get drawn and get a shot off. You think the story would end here, but it doesn't.
I mean, the shot just felt great. Everything about the whole scenario to me, maybe a little back, but you know, up and down looked great. You know, immediately went down, found the arrow. I mean, it's just covered in blood. Did a little bit of light tracking for about 100 yards on him. Great blood trail. Climbed up on the, you know, the side of a hill there, and the blood started getting weaker. We kind of backed out, and then came back after dark and looked again, and we found a spot about 100 yards up from there where it looks like the deer just stood. It's the next morning now. You know, we tracked last night till probably 11:30, looking at all the obvious stuff. There's lots of creeks, lots of ponds in here. The deer could easily be in them. There's lots of little gullies he could be down in. I mean, we fully feel like this deer has expired. And you know, but we're gonna keep looking. We brought in some help as we like to do. That's the best thing you can do on a situation like this where you've lost the blood. My heart tells me this deer's dead nearby, and we just didn't find him. He could be in that big creek right there that's deep. Could be in this pond behind us. I mean, he could just be laid out there in the brush, and we just didn't find him last night. So we're gonna go give it a good all-day look today and see what we can find.
You know, in a hunting situation, you put tons of time in, everything's going great, you've had a great hunt, you make a shot, you feel like the shot's good, you begin the track, you get up the next day, you spend minutes that turn into hours, that turn into more hours and more manpower, and you don't have an answer. A couple days later, though, the phone rings and pictures start coming in, and the deer, well, basically, here's another part of the story.
You know, there was a big dirt slide, and the dirt had just sloughed off down into the creek, and it looked like something had fallen right there. But what are you gonna do? I mean, we thought maybe there's a shot that's where he died, but we didn't really think so. We look everywhere. Usually in this country, buzzards will get on a deer if it dies, and you can find it relatively quick. We watch for buzzards all day. And then the next day, we look back at the water, and there the deer is floating. So what happened was, as the deer goes off the bank, he falls in the water, he sinks to the bottom when he dies. We had no idea. I mean, we would have had to like drag it to find him. I mean, you know, it's 6 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet deep all through there. There was no sign of it at all. We all looked in that water and thought to ourselves, it could be there, but we really didn't think it really was. And then when it floats up right there, it's like, boom, yeah, that mudslide or that dirt slide, when it slid down into the water, that deer fell off that, it floated up, and we were able to find it, but it's a great lesson.
That happens in hunting. Nothing you can say any different. Fortunate that we did solve and finish that story and got the answers and recovered it, and we don't have to wonder anything else about it. And like I said, the only disappointment is not being able to fill the freezer at the end of the day. But you know, once again, what a great buck, one to be proud of. And just another great entry into the Whitetail Diaries journal for us.
Well, that'll do it for us here on the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. We'll see you next time.
Feed your need for speed. The Nitro XRT unleashes speeds up to 470 feet per second, producing 25% flatter arrow trajectory, resulting in knock-breaking accuracy and unprecedented knockdown power. The world has never seen a crossbow this fast, accurate, and compact. The Nitro XRT from 10-Point.
We plan all year for this. We hone our skills. We have confidence in the gear we choose. We pour over thousands of images and videos. When the time comes, will you be ready? Introducing the all-new 4K camera by Stealth Cam. Proven.
Many said that we were just obsessed when we started. that there had to be an easier way to smoke food. As time passed, the Bradley family created a lineup of Bradley electric smokers that has made it easier for the novice or even expert chef to get perfect results every time they use it. Grab yourself a Bradley smoker and take your cooking to an all-new level.
For precise prescription eyewear, Wiley X knows there's no room for error. We meticulously craft our own prescription lenses to fit our high-wrap frames. And our ANSI safety-rated lenses are tested to uncompromising standards. Nothing but precise. Because precision is everything.
What does it take to make EverCalm deer scent? It takes a deer farmer who raises whitetails. It takes mixing the special blend of EverCalm, testing each batch.
Smells like deer.
And then pouring each container. Each container is cleaned, examined, and packaged for shipping. It takes the finest deer herd and a great team of people to make the best hunting scent available. EverCalm from Conquest Scents.
Want to know why the top shooting pros choose High-Vis? High-Vis has an enormous lineup of sights for every shooting platform possible that are clean looking and easy to mount. Improve your shooting with faster target acquisition and eliminate cross-eyed dominance. High-Vis sights are the brightest out there, helping you find your target with ease, no matter the shooting conditions. Choose the best. Choose High-Vis and see what you've been missing.
Nobody likes crawling, creepy, or flying bugs. So ward them off with Sawyer permethrin. It's more than a repellent. This odorless spray repels and kills mosquitoes, ticks, and more than 55 other kinds of insects. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors.
We demand a lot from the products that we use on our adventures around the world. When it comes to keeping things seriously cold, we rely on Angle Coolers, who have for over 50 years kept things cold. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.